this is a basic barbell back squat. We're gonna work all the muscles in our lower body, our core, lower back. So it's basically a total body exercise. Really great for athletes or anybody that's trying to maybe gain a little bit of weight or just get nice size on their legs. It's a pretty technical lift, so if you're not familiar with this lift at all, it's really good that you take your time. Don't try to put on a lot of weight at first. Don't try to be a hero in the gym. That's how people get hurt. So the first thing that you want to look at, and before I say anything else, I guess, always make sure you squat inside of a rack and that you have a spotter with you. The only reason why I'm not doing that is for the purpose of this video. Squat rack is pushed up against the wall, so I can't really get the camera back there, but if I'm not filming, I'm always squatting inside the squat rack, and I usually have somebody spotting me. Now, when setting up for the squat, the first part is getting the bar on your back. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to put the bar on your neck, and you don't want it all the way down on your shoulder blades. So right in that middle space where your traps are is where you want that bar to sit. So just right below your neck, right above your scapula. If you're a bonier person or the bar hurts even in that space, don't be afraid to put a pad on or wrap a towel around the bar. So once you have the rack or the bar on your back, you're going to rack the bar, take a couple steps back, and you're going to get into your stance. So the basic concept for the stance is pretty much an athletic position, so your feet are just a little bit outside of your hips. You don't want your toes pointed in. You can have them, more advanced people have their feet pointed out a little bit wider and their stance a little wider if they really want to hit the hamstrings, but for the purpose of just learning the exercise, just have a little bit wider than hip width distance apart, and your toes either straight ahead or pointed out just a little bit. So once you're in the stance, you got the bar on your back, you're ready to squat. So two things that you want to keep in mind when you're squatting is you want to make sure you keep your chest up, you want to make sure you stay back on your heels. Right there. So what you don't want to do is let your chest drop right here. That's when you start seeing people round their backs, and that's how you're going to slip a disc, bust a vertebrae in your back. So think about keeping your chest up, big chest, and you always want to make sure you're driving through your heels. You don't want to squat down on your toes. Right there, you're just going to shoot your knees over your toes. You're going to fall forward. If you do find that you're having difficulty staying on your heels, it could just be you have tight calves or your Achilles tendon could be a little tight. So work on a few stretches for that. I do have videos for those stretches. Go check those out. But if you're still working on those and it's just coming up a little bit, you can always place a 10-pound plate, 2 of them on the floor, and have your heels standing on the back of that plate, and that'll help you cushion the back of your heel and drive through your heel a little bit better. So 2 biggest things are athletic stance right here. You keep your chest up, you stay back on your heels. You're going to squat down to 90 or a little below. You're going to drive back up. So there's a big debate on how deep to go. A lot of your power lifters are going to go below 90 degrees and they're going to kind of bounce out of the hole. And then some people cheat. They don't even go to parallel. So ideally, to get the most out of the exercise, you want to try to go to 90 degrees, either a little above, a little below. That way you just are fully recruiting all the muscles in your quads and your hamstrings. So big chest, squat down to 90, drive through your heels, stand back up. So, and another thing to watch for is your knees. A lot of people you're going to see when they squat down, their knees are going to dive in. You want to try to make sure if you see that, to keep those knees pushed out. A lot of times it's going to mean you have weaker glutes or you have some tight hips. So glute strengthening exercises and hip stretches to open up those hips and strengthen those glutes are going to help keep those knees from diving in. So I'll show you one more time, a couple reps, then remove the camera around for you guys and show you a couple different angles that we can look for, keeping an athletic stance, your chest up, straight back, and driving through your heels. So step under the bar, I got it right below my neck, right above my scapula. Take a couple steps back, I got an athletic stance, keeping my chest up. I'm going to drop my butt, go to 90, I'm going to stand up, drive through the heels. Just a couple more times. You can inhale coming down, keep your core tight. Exhale, coming up. 2 more times.